Portland is finally putting their money where their mouth is. Credit unions are getting some clarification on hemp banking rules, and one big tobacco company isn't looking so big anymore. It's Thursday, June 18th, and this is your TRICHOMES Morning Buzz.
Broadcasting live from the TRICHOMES.com studios in Southern California, it's time for your Morning Buzz. We bring you late-breaking news that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the cannabis industry.
Let's start the day with some news that Portland, Oregon has redirected cannabis tax funds away from police. Portland, Oregon officials will no longer use cannabis-derived tax funds for the city's police budget, as first reported by the Chicago Tribune. Last week, Mayor Ted Wheeler announced the city would redirect $12 million from the police department budget toward communities of color, at least $2 million of which comes from cannabis taxes and fees. In an open letter to the mayor on June 10th, the Oregon Cannabis Association called on city officials to use cannabis-derived funds for social programs and services that help minority communities. The letter notes that the organization had reached such an agreement with the city when the new 3% tax was implemented. The OCA notes that over the past 2 years, just 14.5% of those funds were used for social equity. The June 10th letter from the Oregon Cannabis Association said, after giving the police $410,000 in the first year for a service coordination team for access to drug alcohol treatment, there were no cannabis tax dollars spent on drug and alcohol treatment in year 2. Last year, police received an increase of well over $1 million, taking in more than $2 million in cannabis tax revenues. This is simply unacceptable, the letter said.
Next, an update from the National Credit Union Administration on hemp banking rules. The National Credit Union Administration issued a memo on Tuesday explaining issues related to providing financial services to hemp businesses. While the federal agency provided guidance on the topic last year after the crop was legalized under the 2018 Farm Bill, it said the new document is to provide additional information for credit unions that are serving or considering serving legal hemp-related businesses, as they too have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. The agency listed 17 questions and answers about banking hemp businesses that credit unions are likely to have. That includes information about the status of the USDA's interim final rule, compliance for hemp production, NCUA rules for serving the industry, and more. The agency said its examiners will be collecting data through the examination process concerning the types of services credit unions are providing to hemp-related businesses in order to help the agency better understand how it can assist credit unions serving hemp-related businesses. House Democrats included the cannabis banking language in a coronavirus relief package the chamber approved last month, but leaders in the Republican-controlled Senate have criticized the move.
Last up today, the first big tobacco company to enter the hemp market has filed for bankruptcy. Pyxus International, one of the world's largest tobacco suppliers, was hard hit by declining tobacco consumption and coronavirus-sparked supply disruptions. The company also grows hemp in the U.S. and cannabis in Canada. Based in Morrisville, North Carolina, Pyxus filed a pre-packaged plan to reduce debt by $400 million and give control to a group of bondholders, according to the Wall Street Journal. The company's Canadian cannabis operations, Figure Brands, aren't part of the bankruptcy filing, an executive said. Pyxus, formerly Alliance One International, was one of the influx of big tobacco and alcohol into the cannabis industry.
That was today's Buzz. Share your thoughts on these stories and many more when you create your profile on trichomes.com and join our cannabis community.
And be sure to keep up with us on all social media platforms. You can also subscribe to our podcast and the TRICHOMES YouTube channel for daily content. My name is David Fortin.
And my name is Allison Ben-Yehuda. Take care.